We just witnessed game of the weekend, the last one of the weekend that we usually go after. Manchester City and Chelsea. Obviously, Enzo Maresca was sacked during the week, so Chelsea decided to bring Don Strapsy to manage us, and he got a point. No UEFA A license.
No UEFA Pro license.
No UEFA Pro license.
Uh-huh.
He probably doesn't know his way around the Etihad. Probably the first time he's been to the Etihad, and he's got a point. But what's the key takeaways you take away from this game? Because I guess for most people, they'll focus on Manchester City and say that this was coming for them in the game. They've lost points on Arsenal. I think it's now 7 points behind. But for me, my points are all Chelsea related. But maybe let's start with City first, then we can speak about Chelsea and speak about Enzo. But what are your takes on the game? Chelsea are a team that were there for the taking in many senses. But is this a big opportunity missed for City?
Massive. But for me, it's very, very deserved for Chelsea. Chelsea deserved to get a point out of this game because you saw the way when City went 1-0 up, the game management for me, like even towards the 70th minute, 80th minute, I was like, there's still no control here. Why is Chelsea getting so much transition moments? Why are Chelsea getting so close to scoring goals? And if it wasn't for Pedro Neto probably having the worst individual performance of the season, Chelsea could have scored a few goals. You know what I mean? The attacks kept falling to Pedro Neto. And I tweeted, I said, listen, if they stop falling to Pedro Neto, maybe Chelsea would get something. And I kept saying, I think this is a late goal is going to happen because City were not managing the game well at all. But what it really means is massive advantage Arsenal. Yeah. That's what it is. Those final 2-3 minutes is when City needed to lock in defensively, and they didn't do that. You know what I mean? That is a massive drop points. That's massive drop points in the title race. And Chelsea, I know you don't want to do Arsenal any favours, but you've just done them a massive favour. But I think City's performance today, not only game management, I thought was just okay. It's like they played that. It's like they didn't. It felt like they just thought they were going to win because it's McFarlane and there's all this turbulence. And everyone's saying they're going no Caicedo, etc.
Rodri coming back.
Yeah, Rodri coming back. But Cherki, I thought was poor for the amount that he got the ball. I thought he was poor. Foden, second half, didn't see him at all. Haaland, last few weeks, as much as Haaland, you know, we've got him as the front runner for Player of the Year and stuff, he's looking a bit of a frustrated frustrated figure, a little bit more like last season's Haaland.
It was like 3 games, no goals now.
Is it? I don't even know. See, it's more about his like body language and the movements, not as shy. He's looking quite frustrated. So I thought City's attack, which has carried them kind of in a way this season, when we thought, okay, City are closing the gap, their attack was firing. Them 3 names that we just said, Cherki, Foden, and Haaland, I thought all 3 of them today were poor.
It's usually been one or the other, whether it's Haaland firing on all cylinders or those two do the side act where, you know, we're going to do the... Or you have Doku, who's been shining as well. And to be fair, when he came on, he showed a little jink. But
he's I don't know. Just dropped him the last few games.
I think he got injured about a month ago or something like that. And then since then, it's just been almost like easing him back in. You would have thought he would have played more.
Sunderland as well. He put Savinho on the left. I was like...
I think for City now, I said a couple of weeks ago, this title is now Arsenal's to lose, bro. They're in the driving seat. It's comfortable. What you would have thought is City are probably just going to keep trying to crank that pressure because they started to hit form, and you thought, do you know what? If they've got now the side actors playing well, you've got Haaland firing on all cylinders, the defence was starting to come together as well. You've got Donnarumma that's shining. They could maybe do a late run. It's games like this, games like Sunderland, where you're thinking it should be a formality with the form that you're in. But somehow they've left it too late. And as you said, the second half is where they almost have to hold their hands up. Yeah, that's on them. At the end of the day, do you know what I mean? I know Pep could have made changes or whatever, but the players out there have to react. And I'm sorry, when you leave it that late, I can't blame the manager in that case. That's on you lot to shut that door and see it out. Ruben Diaz, the back line, you have to nullify that.
Nathaniel Ake came on to do just that, right? And
I mean, I think it was the passes through the midfield were easy.
It started to become so open, bro.
So
last 10, 15 minutes, and you're thinking, this is the time to close the gaps.
This is Champions
You're allowing
League
it to become an NBA game.
Exactly.
What I felt was quite weird was there was a lack of like clinical nature, attacking and defensive wise for City. Yeah. Like each time they got the ball, we were sat here thinking there was like 3 passes you could have played that would have been the right pass. Yeah. And it's something you don't characterize those City players for. Foden, why are you making that pass? Cherki, like we've spoke the whole season about, oh my gosh, this guy. And he was getting a lot of the ball, but it's like, why that pass or why that misstep? But But I mean, I thought that Chelsea defensively were very good for their money for the first half. I think, obviously, very, very fortunate with the Haaland hitting the post. That was a great shift sent by Badiashile. You could say unfortunate with the goal as well because Badiashile gets spun, gets his foot there, but it's a great effort.
Aside from that, I thought Badiashile was actually decent. I can't even lie.
Second half, he grew into it, but
he put in a couple of important blocks, bro.
When you're a stiff centre half, I'm always going to be on the edge of my seat because like you don't have the mobility to adjust to anything. So it looks like you're going to fall over all the time. But I feel like, for me, this Chelsea result at the end of this week is infuriating because I can't watch Pedro Neto for 90 minutes. I'm not sad with what Enzo Maresca has probably been saying for the last 6 months. Because the only difference between a Chelsea win and the result we saw today is a little bit of quality.
Yeah.
A little bit of quality. I'm more fine with trying to play counter-attacking football. But it was like a NBA game with the amount of turnovers I saw.
Yeah.
We got the ball, we're just going to hoop up somewhere. Or we get into attacking positions and one winger can't make a correct decision at any point in the game. It makes sense why the manager goes, well, I can't work with the guys you're buying for me. I saw
some more schoolboy stuff.
Yeah, I saw Enzo Maresca have the performance against Arsenal, and I thought we played well in that game. And we're talking about two of the teams that are front running for the league now, right?
Yeah.
Both games you've contested. The difference in both games is cutting edge quality. And we can talk about Cole Palmer because I feel like his performance today, he needed a lot more. But I don't look at the Chelsea team and think that's a player that's going to make something happen out of nowhere. Like, don't get me wrong, good result, great. I mean, a bit anticlimactic because now you've helped Arsenal and you've not really done anything for yourselves. It's a bit, okay, wait. But any Chelsea fan that watched that game is probably infuriated because it's like, this is what we've been trying to say. Yes, we've made all of these signings, but there's nothing that's shifting the needle. Imagine we had a Doku come off the bench in Neto's positions. We walk away 3, 4, maybe 5 goals. And that is the issue with Chelsea. And I know we'll get into Enzo Maresca stuff, but my perspective of the big take for me in that game was difference in quality. I've got to give a shout to Delap. There's been a lot of heat on his name.
When you say difference, when you say difference in quality, though, I don't think you guys were out. I don't think you guys were out of your depth today, though, on the pitch.
No, but what I'm saying is,
I get what
we're
you're
not out of our depth.
But they're in the game.
Yeah.
But in terms of the quality, like João Pedro today is just another one of those João Pedro-like performances.
How many
Cole
times did
Palmer,
Neto get the
where
ball?
he should be controlling his. Let's be honest, he's come off the back of an awful calendar year. Start the new year against your former team with that bit of him. He was just a bit passenger out there today, bro. So it's like, and Pedro Neto, let's not talk about how many times the game crumbled. He was literally playing against you today, bro. Like, that is one of the biggest anti-performances I've ever seen of a player, bro. It's insane.
It's one of the worst performances I've definitely seen.
Season,
but when I say quality, it's in the Premier League, right? Everyone is of a certain standard. You don't get to the Premier League unless you're not of a certain standard. But the difference between the big teams and the small teams is players being able to capitalise on moments or do what needs to be done. Arsenal, Declan Rice comes in, scores a brace. We can look at various moments this season. I'm looking at the Chelsea game, I'm thinking, I told you, I don't think we're going to get the late goal. Even though all the signs say that we could get one, I don't see where it's going to come from. I said it needs a bit of quality. What did it take? A scruffy back post effort. That's what we needed. Great play by Gusto. You know, fair play. Great play by Gusto. But the finish, Donnarumma makes a save, we scramble it in. And again, that's the issue with where Chelsea are at. It's the signs are there, and I feel like based on where we were last summer, we could have built something, but the recruitment has done us over big time. But before we get into the rest of Chelsea's week and Enzo Maresca, is there anything else we need to talk about this game?
I mean, of course. I mean, you're looking at bro. Man City is Pep Guardiola versus Callum McFarlane. Like, are we just gonna brush over that?
There couldn't be two more polar ends. This is like, you remember when they brought up that Ryan Mason stat? This is that level,
bro. This is even worse, bro. Callum McFarlane hasn't got his pro license.
So last year he was at Southampton,
bro.
A few years ago, he was at Kintec, which is like a London-based, like, guys that want to make academy. There's some people that would tell you that he shouldn't even have his job at Chelsea's academy. This week, his pass would not have got him to the first training building at Chelsea. He walked into the stadium today with a notebook which said academy coaches.
This is what I'm saying. So you've got a guy that hasn't got a pro license against arguably the GOAT. You ain't gonna see a bigger, you know what I mean, a bigger transfer. Yeah, a golfing class. And they were well in the game for the 90 minutes. I think Pep Guardiola, if City don't win the league and they lose the league by 2 points or anything, he has to point to this game that you let Callum McFarlane. Hey, am I going mad by saying Callum McFarlane low-key scored? He low-key.
I don't know.
Look, Cam, let's break down.
I don't know if I want to give that the schooling.
No possession needed. No possession needed. Soak it all up. Suck a punch at the end.
Caicedo wasn't playing. Robert
Sanchez wasn't playing.
There. Fofana woke up with an illness.
Sanchez wasn't there.
Yeah, Fofana woke up with illness. I didn't see Garnacho didn't come on. Yo, he was in the game the whole night. Callum McFarlane. Yo, put your name in the hat, big boy. Put your name in the hat.
Chill.
Yo, once upon a time, Leo Rossinha was Callum McFarlane, huh? So why give him a chance, bro?
Do you know what the funniest part was? There's a part in the second half here where it panned to Callum and his technical staff here. And these men look like, you know at uni where bare man are playing Football Manager around the one laptop? They look like they were just enjoying the moment. You know, we might not be here next week, lads, but let's try and make the most of it. They look like they probably spent 30 minutes before the game setting up the technical iPad, yet they've come up with a result. And you know what? Credit where credit is due, because, again, a lot of people thought that Chelsea were going to get dog walked today. But like I said, the only difference between if he had a few better subs to come on, probably does well. And to be fair to him, he's done what the board wants. He's brought on Hato. Hato, you can get your minutes. We bought you for 37 million. A Chimpong, academy graduate, you can get your minutes. So that credit where credit is due.
I thought Delap's cameo was good. Except from the weirdo things that he's got going on.
Jack Swagger.
I can't lie to you. I like him, but it's insane at the same time.
He's weird. He's moving a bit weird, bro.
Bro, he came on, was having like a good 10, 12 minute spell, and then it's like, do you remember Randy Orton?
Yeah.
What's that thing?
The voices in the head.
IED.
The voice
where
in the
you
head.
say, yo, I need to punch someone.
Yeah.
It's like a voice in his head.
Bro.
Says, yo, you need to elbow someone.
Literally.
Bro, he's in the wrong sport, I'm telling you.
But
He's got a trigger.
I thought he played well. I thought Reece James was really good today in the midfield. Like, when Chelsea needed just a bit of composure. As you were saying, in the first half, Chelsea were lumping the ball a lot. But when Chelsea just needed someone just to get the ball, maybe do a little Cruyff turn out of pressure, maybe just pass it between the line. I thought Reece James, again, was excellent. He plays on his own, in a way, in his own tempo, you know. I thought, to be fair, first half, he committed like 4 or 5 fouls. And I was like, what? Well, he got booking just on the last one.
But do you know something I've realised, though?
I thought he was really good.
Something I realised with that is he plays like that when he's in the middle. So does Caicedo. And it's now like, okay, I feel like it's in both their games to be a bit brash on the challenges. But is it the way that we're set up that these men are having to run around and kick people because we're overloaded?
Who knows?
I mean, who knows? Because both of them, whenever we're out of possession, they're running around to regain possession and lumping people in the ankles.